Hey, what's up guys, Josh's Boost here and welcome back to another Digimon gameplay video. Today I have something cool. At locals we did a little Ultimate Cup format tournament. So I'm having a locals match here in the Ultimate Cup tournament with the revision rules. You know, monocolor, DevX, Cerberus mode, and Chaos Degradation banned, Grand Kuwaga limited, or Chaos Degradation limited as well. And promo Blackwargreymon banned. And we're playing a match between Blue Flare, which I think is one of the top contenders in this format. I did a little tier list, which I will link somewhere. You can watch it if you want. And I think it's a tier 1 deck against myself piloting, I want to say Blackwargreymon, but it's really more like a Gaiomon deck than it is a Blackwargreymon deck. As you're gonna see. Which I also think is a very good deck in this format. But of course it's way less powerful than it is in the actual BT11 format, because, well, Cool Boy is not technically banned, right, but it is kind of banned because you can't play white cards in your red base deck. But yeah, definitely think this is a pretty cool matchup, and the deck definitely plays a lot different than it does in the regular format. And I do think it's fun to play, and it was also really fun to deck build this deck. You're gonna see some cool decks I'm playing and like deck building choices I made. But yeah, I think we both have a decent start here. He went for the Blazing Memory Boost, hits the Kiraha, I think, and evolved into the Dracomon, which you can't quite tell from the glare, but it is a Dracomon. And I just went for Agu, go into Greymon, then play the Searcher Agu, and now I'm playing another Agu. But this is not a Searcher Agu, sadly. It is the Structure Deck 7 Agu, which says when attacking the player, you gain plus 2000 for the turn. And now it's going to get stunned by the Metal Greymon. So Chris definitely drew pretty decently there. Go to draw for the Dracomon and already having access to the Metal Greymon on like turn 2 or 3, which is nice. He's going to swing in with the Dracomon, draw a card for Wanya, and now he's actually gonna go into the Metal Greymon plus Cyber Launcher to bottom deck my structure deck Agumon, put me to 2. Now we're gonna see, I think I'm gonna move out the Greymon. Yeah. And the good thing with this deck against Blue Flare is that you can basically just play the entire game with one stack. So they will never really be able to trigger their additional effects from the inheritables, like the Blackwargreymon or the Greymon. I pop the boost, go into the Metal Greymon there, BT8, then go into Altars mode and go into Gaiomon, attack over his stack, draw a card for the Koromon. And now my stack does have protection because of the Altars mode, which is a card I decide to include in the deck again. Just because it means that now if I do build up a stack with the BT11 Greymon, or Greymon X antibody I should say, which I am playing, then I can still have protection in the stack if I also have the Altars mode. Which is definitely very nice. So yeah, my stack is like super threatening, but it's still doing 2 checks every turn. And, oh right, this is the turn where Chris made a little misplay. I put him to 5, then he didn't hatch, and then he went Blazing Memory Boost, and he actually hit a level 3. And because he didn't hatch, he couldn't evolve into it, so definitely not the ideal play there, but it is what it is. My security checks there hitting into the Blazing Memory Boost as well as the Kira. The Kira doesn't really add anything there, but the Blazing Memory Boost definitely nice, because now potentially he does have 3 memory to start with, and then he can go to up to 9, which is a lot of memory, obviously. I got Memory Boost, I review the Greymon X antibody as well as Hero and Marcus. I'm playing both these tamers just because I think I'm playing a couple of the memory set tamers, and I don't really think there's much merit to having like triple hero on the field, so it's like might as well try a Marcus to see how it works. And like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't necessarily super good either. Don't think I will be playing it for the actual Ultimate Cup, but still was fun to test. Yes, Gaiomon is going to hit into my Agumon, play out the Blackwargreymon, which can add back Metal Greymon from the trash since Kira is on the field. But yeah, the thing is, his Metal Greymon can't stun my Gaiomon because it has too many sources. So if he doesn't have the, what's it called, the Z Greymon, which I think is able to stun my Gaiomon if he goes for it. I'm not 100% sure though. Then I will most likely have a game, because the Gaiomon can just swing for 2 checks, and then the Greymon can just close out the game. So yeah, he's going to go hard play the Greymon there. Like, I'm not sure if he had Surai in hand, but if he did, I think he could have gone, like, pop the boost Surai and then go into Metal Greymon to actually stun my Gaiomon, which definitely would have put me in a difficult position. But again, I'm not sure if he has it in hand, so if he doesn't have it in hand, then yeah, I haven't said anything, right? Yeah, here I'm doing a little think, but as you're gonna see, I'm gonna be playing around something like Kaido's Breath, or what's it called, V-Wing Blade, or whatever, like some of the bounce cards, instead of playing around something like Hammer Spark, because I think most Blue Flare decks are not playing Memory Spark, and also I know Chris quite well. We test a lot, and I know he was a fan in the past of playing the security bombs and not so much Hammer Spark, so that's why I figured I went for this line of play. So now I do put up a stack with Alters Mode and 2 level 4s in the stack, so even if I do hit into Kaido's Breath, then I can just protect the second stack and just close out the game anyway. So yeah, I do take game 1 there. I feel like if my, if Chris had Surai in his hand, then I would have lost, but he didn't, I think, so lucky me. He is going to let me start. I decide to not mulligan, evolve into the X antibody, and then evolve into Greymon for 2. He goes into Vanyamon, into Madoki Betamon, and then drops the basic memory boost, I think, plays it, puts me to 3. And he does hit double here, as well as hitting Kyria, so living that Blue Flare dream. Adding the Greymon and the Metal Greymon to his hand, and of course activating the Kyria. Or placing it on the field, whatever it's called. I do move out my stack here. I think because I had a lot of rookies in hand, so I just want to continue building next turn pretty much. Evolve into the Metal, or in the Greymon X antibody from BT11. Then for 2, go into Metal Greymon X antibody. And then actually finish out the turn by going Hero, put him to 3. And now even if he does with the Metal Greymon, he won't be able to stun my stack, because I do have 4 sources even. He's going to promote his Madoki Betamon, actually decide to swing, draw, hit into Agumon. Now let's see what's going to happen. But I don't think he quite has the Metal Greymon play ready yet, so yeah, he just hard plays the Greymon. And actually whiffs here. He does put the Ice Wall to the bottom, so we don't really have to account for that anymore. Evolve into Agumon over the Koromon. And now I think I'm going to Memory Choke him, and by going to Blackwargreymon, because yeah, I did say this was like a Gaiomon deck, but of course I'm still playing Blackwargreymon just because the ability to get rid of Tamers is definitely very strong in some matchups. But we're not, I mean, we literally can't play the Black Greymon, right? So we can't really get the double block or anything. And he actually just hatches a rookie, or not hatches, but he hatches and then evolves into a rookie and then just plays the Kyria. So we're basically back to where we were last turn. I evolve to Gaiomon, so we'll be able to do 2 checks if I decide to swing. And I actually go for a Hades Force, pay the full cost, get rid of his entire field, do 2 checks, and then with the reboot I'm gonna trash his top security as well. So pretty nice that Hades Force getting rid of the Kyria as well, making sure that there's no Tamer on the field for the Greymon to use its save ability. However, I do have to admit, I do give Chris a lot of memory here, but I didn't really feel like he could capitalize off it. And I think I was right. Gaiomon goes into Milbergemon, which is going to play out the Kyria on play. So that's the 3rd Kyria in this game, I think, which is a little bit... it's sad, because we're really trying to not have that card on the field, but we can't really play around it. He digicrosses from field into the Metal Greymon, but again, he can't stun my stack, because I have too many sources. Goes to the Cyber Launcher, which doesn't really do anything here. I think he can put a source under it or something, but I think he opts not to. And now... yeah, let's see what he's going to do. Basically, he's on the clock, right? Because, again, my Gaiomon is just going to swing in for 2 checks. And then, potentially, the Agumon could close out the game. His Cyber Launcher runs into the Metal Greymon here. So you armor purchase, and yeah. Now, if there's not something like... Kaido's Breath or anything in the security stack, then this again will just be a game just like it was closed out the last game. So the Blackwargreymon or the Gaiomon deck really putting a lot of pressure here. I did get pretty lucky, I have to admit, with going into the stack quite quickly. So yeah, go into Greymon for 1, and I think I'm just gonna play around his plays the exact same way I did it in the last game. So again, play around the Kokai's Breath, go Gravity Curve, go to 2, because if I game, it doesn't really matter if he gains 2 memory. Evolve into the Metal Greymon, which now has the protection, since the Greymon X antibodies in the stack. Then go into Alters mode, just to get rid of one of the Greymons, just because. And now I'm gonna go for the 2 checks, and yeah, that's just going to be the game. Yeah, that's it guys, GG.